Hey everyone, I'm about to flip this coin, and I want you guys to predict what it's gonna be, a heads or a tails. Before I even flipped it, did you have a gut feeling about what it would be, and if you got it right, was that luck or was it something else entirely? Well, the truth of the matter is that the definition of luck is subjective. It depends on who you ask. Luck is one of those things that everyone believes in, but no one can really explain. Some people just seem to have it all the time, like Hawk Tuah Girl, who made millions doing a rug pull after saying 2 words into a camera, while others claim that they were born unlucky. Okay, so what if I told you guys that luck might not even be real? Well, at least not in the way that you think. Let's talk numbers. Imagine you roll a 6-sided die and it lands on a 6. Lucky, right? But the probability of that happening is always 1 in 6. The dice didn't know you wanted a 6, it just followed the laws of physics and probability. This is where things get weird. Our brains hate randomness. We love to see patterns even when they don't exist. This is called the gambler's fallacy, the idea that past events affect future probabilities. It's like believing that a slot machine is due for a jackpot because it hasn't hit in a while. But no, the machine does not care. It's just math. And just like the slot machine, our lives do not care. But shockingly, some studies suggest that luck isn't even all random. It might be psychological. Richard Wiseman, a psychologist and very wise man, studied lucky and unlucky people and found that people who believe they're lucky tend to be more optimistic, take more opportunities, and notice good things more often. Meanwhile, people who think they're unlucky literally don't see opportunities in front of them. In one experiment, people who consider themselves lucky were more likely to notice money on the ground compared to unlucky people who walked straight past it. Turns out, luck might just be awareness. And speaking of, lucky charms actually might kind of work. The truth is, if you believe an object is lucky, it can actually boost your confidence, making you perform better. It's called the placebo effect. And by the way, the placebo effect is everywhere. It's like when I was little and I ate vodka pasta and I started thinking that I was fated than a hoe, fated than a hoe. Like, I thought I was so fated than a hoe, I was transported to other dimension, man. But then I figured out that it didn't actually have vodka in it because all the alcohol was evaporated. It's the same thing for luck. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if carrying some weird rock in your pocket makes you feel unstoppable, then it will probably show in your actions. Go for it. Just maybe don't tell people about it. Look, I hate to say this, but luck is just a small part of the equation. You might not know this, but successful people also do stuff. They meet people, take risks, try new things, get rejected, get back up. Yeah, luck does play a role, but lucky people aren't just sitting around waiting for good things to happen. Mark Cuban, Steve Jobs, Sky Brewery, Kevin O'Leary, they're putting themselves in situations where luck can happen. You could be the luckiest person in the world, but if you stay in your room, when is that luck going to take effect? Now, on a more serious note, I know what you guys might be thinking. People are born all the time into less than savory situations and are often suppressed systematically. I mean, people can't choose where, when, or whom they're born as. Being born into a wealthy, stable, and supportive family in a safe country provides a drastically different starting point than being born into poverty, war, or systemic discrimination. But the question I pose to you guys is that luck? Or are we just replacing the role of privilege as an invisible luck? People born into wealth or stability don't even recognize their advantages as luck, because it feels so normal to them. But having access to good education, healthcare, safety, and financial security from birth is an immense form of privilege and luck that makes success more attainable. But is that the doing of luck? Or is that the doing of humans who set up a system that could let so many people down? Look, I'm not going to be the kind of person who says that luck totally doesn't exist and all you have to do is work hard and grind like a Sigma. The kind of luck I'm talking about is more mental. It's the way you carry yourself, the way that you view life. Now, let's put this into practice. Let me tell you the story of the world's luckiest guy, Frane Salak, a man so absurdly lucky it's like the universe glitched and forgot to kill him multiple times. Frane was a music teacher from Croatia. Normal guy, except for one thing. He cheated death more times than a snow bunny in a horror movie. It all started in 1962 when he was on a train. Normal day, right? Except the train derailed, crashed into a river and killed 17 people. But Frane, he swam to shore with just a few scratches. 1 year later, he's on a plane. Plane door malfunctions. He gets sucked out of the plane, and instead of, dying horribly, he lands in a haystack, a literal haystack, while the plane crashes and kills everyone else on board. At this point, most people would just start, walking everywhere, but not Frane. This guy kept challenging death to a game of Uno and somehow winning every single time. Car crash number 1. His car caught fire, but he escaped seconds before it exploded. Bus crash. He survived after the bus skidded off the road into a river. Car crash number 2. Another car accident, but this time he got ejected from his car and landed in a tree. His car, of course, exploded. Car crash number 3. Another car accident, but this time he dodged a head-on collision by swerving off a cliff and landed safely on a tree again. At this point, Death must have been like, okay, I give up, this guy's hacking. Oh yeah, and as if barely surviving multiple disasters wasn't enough, Frayne Salak won $1 million in the lottery. Now, take all of this with a grain of salt, because all these stories came from Frayne Salak himself. We have no idea how true they are. All they are is stories, but just like any other story, this one has a moral. Are you lucky? Well, the whole point of me telling you the story of Frayne Salak was that it could go either way. Frayne Salak was either the luckiest guy in the world to have survived all these disasters, or he was the unluckiest guy to have all these disasters happen to him in the span of one life. So my point, guys, is that it all depends on the way we look at it. If carrying a lucky charm in our pocket makes us feel more lucky, then we act more lucky, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're ejected from a car that exploded soon after, either you're really lucky for surviving, or you're really unlucky that your car no longer exists. That's all for this week, guys. See ya.